Hello, everybody in the beginners blogging support group. How are you this morning? If you are watching the replay, I hope you're having a great day. I am Maria Ripka, teaching about the blogging that I've come to know in the last couple of years, and I thought it would be great to get in live. And I know that our group is very small. This support group, is for people that have taken my beginners blogging course. So I come in periodically to see how you guys are doing, and I want to remind you a few things about this group. Even though it's small, it's going to continue to grow. I have a course and a free class on the 17th, so we're going to have some more people come into the group, and I want to be able to remind you that the group is here for you to grow your online business, and doing that through a blog. So when you are in this group, I want to encourage you to do a couple of things. Remember, by being part of this group, you can post your blog posts to the group, and you then can have people comment onto your blog, which is a really great way to get some action on your website. So I want to make sure that you know that. Some of you are using that as a resource. This group is for you to build that presence online and to ask questions as you go through your development of your blog and your website. And I had put a poll in the group to ask what you're interested in. And the top question was how to get more page views. Now, I have continued my own education. I've started my blogs about probably a year and a half ago at this point. I have two of them. And I teach one for our business, our family business, Simply More Plants, and then I have my business strategist one. So I have two blogs that I'm currently working on, and wow, amazing information over the course of time on what I've learned, and I want to share it with you. You trusted me to join into my course, and I want to make sure that I continue to provide you value. So when I asked, what do you want to still know about building your blog, building your website, having more page views was the top winner. Now again, we're a small group, so we had some other one or two in other categories, but I wanted to really zone in on that today. So I have some tips for you, and it's you and I, and you know, it's just notes. I took a course on how to increase page views, and I want to share with you what I learned. And it's some of the things I already knew and was implementing, but one of the strategies was incredible that I did not know, and I know other people don't know it, because when I used the strategy, a very top blog guru was underneath my Google search, so underneath mine. So I'm going to share that with you at the end, so hopefully you'll stay tuned through the whole recording. Obviously, if you're listening live, wonderful, welcome. And if you're listening on the replay, maybe you're driving in the car, maybe you're just here, you're playing the recording, but hopefully you'll get something out of it that can impact you and your blog. Okay, so starting with concept number 1, how to increase page views to your blog. Narrow your focus is the first tip for that. You want to make sure that you can consider what you actually have enough to talk about. What are you really interested in? A lot of times when we start a blog or we start a website, we are just all over the place. We're talking about this, we're talking about that, we're talking about this. And it's very hard for the reader that comes and visits on the blog to understand what your message is. And you want to ask yourself some questions. 1, what do you love to write? 2, what could you write more about? And 3, what do people like? What is important right now that people want answers to? Your blog should be answering people's questions or problems, be a solution to them. So thinking of those 3 questions, you want to make sure that you narrow down your focus. It actually lightens your load as well. If you get very focused on what your message is, it makes it simpler to plan out what your posts are. It makes it simpler. It makes everything a little more congruent. Now, I'm not saying that you can't talk about various topics, but if you can think of 1 to 5 big topics, and those become your categories, and everything you write falls under those categories, It makes it easier for somebody coming to your blog to understand what you're about. It also makes it easier for you to plan out, and it will allow you to streamline some of your thinking. So right now, I probably have 7 categories on my Simply More plans. Healthy lifestyle, maybe I have eating dinner, recipes. I have a couple of categories. Think about the maybe 5 categories that you want to funnel through all of your posts and stick to them. And then if you're like on vacation and you see something, ask yourself, does that fit into one of my categories? If it doesn't fit into one of your categories, then it's not a post for you to write about. It will help you in the long run using that, because you'll have something that is more focused. So narrow your focus. Next thing I want you to remember is to share your posts to Facebook. This is a huge traffic referral. Facebook is very easy for people. There are billions of people using Facebook, and we have to utilize that and understand that it's not just about putting our post on our blog. It's about now sharing it with others. So when I say Facebook is a referral, every time you post something or share your blog post onto a Facebook page and someone clicks on it, it becomes that Facebook referred them to your blog. A little different than you sending the direct URL, okay? So how do you get more eyes on your blog post in Facebook? You post it in more places. So if you have your own business page, great place to post. If you have your own personal page and it fits in with what you are doing, you don't want every time your blog post to be all that you have on your personal page. People want to know you, not just your business. So you want to, periodically make sure that you at least have other posts along with your blog posts. You want to get into Facebook groups that have the same focus that you have with your blog and answer people's questions. If you see somebody talking about being tired all the time and you have a blog post that address that, you put the link in there. That gets somebody's eyes on your blog post. Hey, this might help you. This was a post I wrote about energy. Drop it in there. You want to get yourself where you are more involved in some of those Facebook groups that you didn't even think about. So look at the side of your Facebook, see where your groups are, and notice how many groups you're involved in. If you think about it, that's the groups and the people that you are prospecting, trying to share your information with. And if there's only 1 or 2 groups, then you're limiting yourself on sharing your message. So get yourself involved in more groups so that you can actually share to more people as time goes on. And that will be a referral for you to your blog. And once they get to your blog, wonderful. They can get to know you better. They can understand who you are and possibly be interested in what you're doing. When you've completed your blog, you should look at sharing it. You should share it, and there's an easy way to do that. If you have a plugin that shares your blog out, you hit Facebook and you pick your groups. And obviously there are some groups that you're maybe involved in that don't want you to just post your blog. There are some that don't care. So you can look at the description of those Facebook groups and make yourself a little list of like 6 or 7 that won't mind you posting. There's no rule that says you can't post your blog post blatantly. There's nothing, I really don't believe there's anyone that would say that you can't respond to someone's question with your blog post. It's just a matter of posting it to the group itself with no other involvement. So you want to make sure that if you are going to do that, and there are some groups that allow that to happen, that you get in the habit of posting to those groups regularly, if they're allowed, and then using that blog post occasionally as answers to people's questions. And that means you have to be in those groups. That means you have to spend some time in those groups. When you're already busy, how do you do that? It's setting up maybe 10 to 15 minutes a day where you're going to spend time in your Facebook groups. Now you could get dressed and you can get in the car and go to a networking meeting, or you can go to a group that's designed to help you build your business and spend an hour on Thursday morning doing that, and maybe, another day of the week to try to get to know new people and to bring them into your world. Or you could spend 20 to 30 minutes on your Facebook and build relationships in groups. And maybe not even just posting the answer with a blog post, but posting just some words. Hey, I understand what you're going through. I used to do that too. What happens then is they click on your name, they click on your profile because you answered a question for them, and they think you're a kind person, and they'll click on your name, and then it brings them back to your Facebook page, and then they see what you're all about. And then maybe they go to your blog, because your blog is, I'm sure, under the About section of your Facebook page, right? Boss at mariaripka.com, business strategist at simplymoreplans.com. That should be on your profile on Facebook, so that anytime you are posting in any group or anywhere, people that click on you come back to you on your Facebook and then go back to your blog. So there's like that connection happening. Okay, so make sure that you are thinking about that you can provide value to people, not only in your blog, but just in simple answers. If you have a blog, you have answers. You of course want to teach something, you have a message. So you want to make sure that you share that wisdom with other people that you don't know. And that takes time to build those kind of relationships, but set 10 to 20 minutes a day where you're just going to click on the groups that you are already a member of, and then go in there, see what people are asking, answer questions, just hit like. You'd be amazed at when people you just hit like, or you give them a little heart, they look to see who responded to them, and then they click on your profile and they come back to you, and it's a big circle. But if you're not doing that, if you're not clicking like, you're not responding with some answers or some wisdom, people don't know you even exist. So big way to get page views to your blog is by getting involved in the Facebook groups. Okay? All right, so let's go down to the next tip. Using shareable graphics. Now, if you took the course, and if you are in this group, you have access to the course. You know that making the graphics for your blog posts is really important, because being able to share it to Facebook or any platform that you're using needs something visual. You see the difference in your feed sometimes when you see a picture versus just a caption or a link that doesn't really have something eye-catching. So you really want to make sure that your graphic is shareable. And the Facebook image dimensions that are very Facebook friendly is 1200 by 628. So you want to use those custom dimensions, and canva.com is a great place to make your graphics. There are free images through Canva. You can also go to Pixabay and get some free images from Pixabay. And there's also Dollar Photo Club. I learned this in the course. And Dollar Photo Club actually charges you. There's like a membership to that, but it allows you to get some really high quality images that you can use. So if you're not a professional photographer, or you don't really have access to these incredible pictures, or you go to the free sites, or you don't see anything in Canva that you really like that's trying to share your message, you might want to get involved and look up the Dollar Photo Club and get into that membership where you have access, because having an image that is eye-catching is really important for sharing. Because when people catch their attention, if you catch their attention, it's all about attention. If you catch their attention, they're going to want to click on your post, and they're going to see more about you. And people will share things that are pretty. People will share things that think that other people will be interested, and that's what you want. You want that sharing to occur. If you're sharing on Pinterest, you want to make it beautiful, because Pinterest is about beauty. It's about people going there for crafts and exciting little tips. I mean, my 2 young teenagers are pinners. They pin. And people will go there, but they want to see beautiful images. And I am, for one, improving on that area because some of my images look, oh, I took the pictures myself, but I know that I got to get better at that. So really think about where you're sharing and what your message is, and create your image. Spend some time creating your image. So if you are creating a blog post once a week, maybe on Monday you're creating the outline for it. Maybe on Tuesday you're creating the image for it. And then maybe on Wednesday you're actually doing the writing. So you want to make sure that that image is eye-catching and something somebody would want to share. All right, so use shareable images. This tip is something that I've done a couple of times and it's been very powerful. It's called piggybacking. Piggybacking on successful posts that you already have. So say you wrote something and you got a lot of excitement about it. Sometimes it's probably like 1 out of 5 times that a post is really going to grab some attention and you're going to see people really want to be involved in that blog post. They've got some comments on it, or you noticed, 2 months ago that there was a lot of shares on it. What you want to do is you want to piggyback on that by resharing the post. So just because this week was about your treadmill and your running habits doesn't mean that you can't share last month's article as well. So you want to make sure that you are conscious of that. What happens is if you get to a point where you have a really active post and you reshare it and you reshare it and you reshare it more often, you're going to see more views. If you have a video attached to that blog post, you'll see that the views start to increase. You'll see comments increase. And what then happens is people look at that post and they're like, oh wow, 600 views. It brings more social proof to your blog post if it's been more popular. You can have a post from last year that really did incredible and focus on sharing that post maybe once a month. Just continue to go into Facebook groups and share it, or hey, this was a great post I did a year ago and I thought that it brings some value to you guys if you have a business page, or just to get that one post really strong in views and comments so that people are really impressed by you when they first come across your content. Okay? And that's just called piggybacking on something you've already done. Pretty easy. You just have to kind of be conscious of which one is really popular and then keep making it popular and more popular. So when people click on it, it shows that you're an interesting person. You're an interesting article writer. Okay, now this one is really, I think this was interesting to me when I was studying the class about page views, and even when I was preparing for the course, there's always in the back of my mind this SEO issue. How do you search engine optimize? And you hear it all the time. What is SEO for beginners? It's a very big topic. And I thought to myself that I was actually not doing a good job teaching you guys about that. Now in the course, I did share about keywords and I did share about how you could bring things up on the Google search a little bit by using proper keywords. But it's still, when you type in the word coffee, you have 4 billion posts about coffee. So how could we even tackle that? Beginner bloggers, how do you even tackle that? And so I felt that I was missing something for you guys. So when I actually studied this page view course, I thought this statement is really powerful. It kind of gave me some relief to know that I was on the right track, because I shared a little bit about keywords, but my main thing is share your posts on social platforms. So what the author of this class said was, what used to be done in months and years in SEO can be done in weeks on social media. I was like, wow, that's so true. When we think about SEO, there are people that know what to do to get blog posts to be optimized. There's some massive strategy to that and way over my head. But when this person, this author said, what used to be done in months and years, so even if you were really good at SEO, or even if you hired someone for SEO, you can do that and make your posts be, search engine optimized, where somebody types in something and finds you. But it takes months and years for that to really happen. So it's a disservice really to tell you go forward with that when months and years. And this person said, no, what used to take months and years only takes a few weeks on social media. And I believe that. I believe when you were in those Facebook groups and you were sharing to Pinterest or you were sharing to Instagram, what used to take years for people to find you takes only a few weeks. And I love it. I love it because that makes me feel like what I did teach in the course is valid. What can we do to really make sure our content is good so that when we do share on social media, people are appreciative of it? We want to study our content we have. We want to make sure that we really provide some in-depth value. Not all the time can you do a 5-paragraph blog post, but as much as you can provide value in that blog post is what's going to make somebody really gain value from you. Sometimes it's short, sometimes it's a video with a few sentences, but really spend time building that value in the content. And look at what other people are doing in their blog posts. If you notice that somebody's blog post on Facebook came across your feed and it had 600 shares, click it. Do a little bit of studying yourself to see what was actually in that blog post. Now maybe they had been piggybacking it and it looks great and it's really shared over the course of 3 years, but look at it. Obviously it must be a good post and you want to see what is special about that post that maybe I can integrate into my posts. And try to look at posts that are in your niche, of course, so that you can see the commonalities between them. Another strategy is when you are posting a new post, link it to another post that you've done. So if you are writing about turtles, maybe you're doing a blog post about sea life and you're doing turtles today, but yet you had another one on otters. You want to get your information out about turtles and link something in there, bringing them back to the otter. What happens is people then spend more time on your website, and it actually will help them to just kind of see what you're all about. So we want to get them there, and we want them to spend time there. So linking back to another article that you've done in the past will help you to do that. So think of some connections that you have between some of the posts that you've been doing and try to link people to that. Another thing to do is to go into old posts and link to your new posts. Now that takes a little bit of time, but if you've done a new wonderful post on turtles, why not go back to the otter post and put a few sentences in there about turtles, edit it, put a few sentences, and then link them to your turtle post. There's that back and forth. And that's what it adds more time to being a blogger, but it does help to keep people on your website longer. The other thing you can do is if you have a couple of articles on the same topic, you can drive somebody to one blog post with a small paragraph and then do all those links to the 4 or 5 that you have on the same topic. That's a nice way to get people there and looking at all the different blog posts that you might have. They spend more time on your website that way, and that helps as well. So if you are narrowing your categories to about 5, you might have a few posts on one topic, and next week's post is about just, you need actually a little extra time next week to do something else, and you create a few sentences and you link all the other blog posts you've already written in that new blog post. Hope that makes sense. All right, if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments. And now I'm going to give you if you have any questions, put them in the comments. If you're watching the replay, I will answer them as the week goes on. So make sure that you're asking questions. I'm here to help you. But now I'm going to share with you The one strategy I learned in taking this course for you guys that I tried and I loved it. And wow. Okay. So Google loves Google, right? I mean, they're not going to love Yahoo. They're not going to love, another platform. Google loves Google. And I always had, because in my blog, I have the sharing buttons on the side where I can share to Facebook, I can share to Twitter, I can share to Pinterest, and I can share to Google+. So I did. I always do. I do my blog posts and I share to those platforms because they're there. And how easy is that for me to share to those platforms? I shared to Google+, but I will be honest, I didn't grasp what Google+ was. Facebook to me is where it's at. I don't really understand Google+. I don't know how people find Google+. I don't get it. I will though. And especially because I tried this strategy and it worked. So I hit the Google+ button and obviously we have a Google account, and it clicks over and it posts. It comes up with the images there that I shared from the blog post, and I could put a little description in there. And then I would normally just say post. I really don't know where it goes. I don't really know what happens to it until now. I got a little bit new information. So this time what I did was I hit the Google+ button, and then my post came up with a pretty image, and just similar to how it would post on Facebook. And the strategy that I learned is that if you have your blog post information, and there's something that people are searching that they can connect to that information, put it in asterisks, okay? And that becomes bold in your post. So I put in about my free blogging class on the 17th. So I said something about getting your message online is not hard. Free blogging class next Tuesday. And then I put the blog, the post for that. I put the URL too. And then what I did was I put free blogging class in asterisks. Okay. So when I actually posted it, it became bold. And I'll put pictures in the group to show you what I'm talking about. So Google Plus went over, started to do the post, just like if you hit the Pinterest button, it's going to bring you over to the Pinterest page and you can post it to your board. Well, went over to Google Plus. I put in the description, getting your message online is not that hard. Free blogging class, put that in asterisks, thinking somebody's going to be searching maybe for a free blogging class. So, if they're going to type in free blogging class, they might see this a little bit more quickly. So when I hit post, and then I put the link to sign up, for the actual class. When I hit post, the asterisks went away and the free blogging class became bold. So nice post. I'm thinking that looks pretty. It brings attention that it's a free blogging class. If I could have highlighted it, I would have done it anyway. So the little asterisk makes it bold. But it does something else. It makes those keywords powerful. I went back to Google. This is where it's so exciting. I went back to Google and I typed in, just like if I was just a stranger looking for something, free blogging class. And I was number 2 on the list. So, and I'll post that picture in the group. Now there were like 3 ads, paid ads above me. And then there was something, and then there was my picture coming from Google Plus. It pulled it from Google, and the statement about, not that hard to get online, and free blogging class. And what's so exciting about that is there's a huge blogging guru teacher that was actually number 3 under mine. Now he's probably been around for years and he's really big in the industry, and he fell under mine. He fell under mine. And I think that's so exciting. One little tweak to one strategy on sharing on Google Plus, allowed my post about the class next week to show up number 2. So how does that apply to you? You can share to Google Plus in your description. You can describe it. You can highlight with asterisks a keyword that someone's going to search about your post or your topic or whatever you're sharing. It might be a party, it might be an event, whatever somebody's might be looking for on Google. Highlight it with the asterisks, post it, then later go back and put that same exact keyword that you asterisked in the search bar and see if it shows up. I think it'll be exciting for you to see your own post showing up. Now, I don't know if it was a fluke. I just think it's incredible, and that strategy worked. And how incredible to take that same post, maybe when we're doing that piggybacking, and maybe 3 weeks from now, share the same post with a different keyword. You know, maybe I'm next week sharing that same post with just blogging asterisk. Now maybe there's going to be a lot more to show up and I won't be number 2, but still that strategy will, you know, if somebody types in blogging, they might show up. My post might show up a little bit higher than the 4 billion posts about blogging on Google. So Google Plus, big, powerful tool, especially because Google loves Google Plus. I mean, it's going to love itself. So if you're using Google Plus for your advantage, you're going to get more you're going to get more page views. All right, now, how do you know, anything that you do, you should monitor. You know, if you have a WordPress site, which hopefully you do, you should be able to look at the traffic. You should be able to look at the visitors and see what they're looking at, how long they're staying there, and determine what you are doing on your blog that interests others. And don't get too attached to that, because sometimes, you know, with just natural numbers, 1 out of 5 times you might have something that is a home run. But that means 4 times you wrote your heart out and nobody cared. But that's okay. That's okay. You just keep doing. You keep giving that value, and you bring people into your world. So hopefully that was helpful to you guys. I'm excited to share with you what I'm learning. I have like a lot of resources with this new class, and I want to just keep coming into this group, pouring into you, helping you to build your blog and your website to the best of my ability. And I just want you, 1, to keep being consistent with your content. 2, to post your blog posts in this group. See, you don't need permission to post in this group. And if you are posting in this group, then everybody can click on it and make a comment and make that post look great for other people. And I want you guys to do that for other people. So if you are in this group, please take a minute or 2 to check. If somebody does post their blog post, click it, put a quick comment. You don't have to like even read the whole thing, but just put a quick comment so that it brings social proof every time it is seen by someone else. That's a big help to all of us. And that's the beauty of this group right now. And then also try to put in place some of these strategies and then ask questions. I want to help you. So ask questions. All right. In the comments, please tell me what you thought of this class, so that I know that the next time I pour some study time to bring you some value, that it's going to be, you know, something that you can benefit from. I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want to waste my time, but if you really gained something, even one thing out of the lesson today, I would appreciate hearing it in the comments, and I hope you guys have a great day.